Hello students, yesterday we learned the expression for drift velocity and we learned how we got the Ohm's law, that is V is directly proportional to I. The expression for drift velocity is Vd is equals to E tau by m, right? This we remember, we derived this yesterday, okay? And we also derived the expression for I and Vd. So I was Vd E n A, where Vd is the drift velocity of the electrons, E is the charge, n is the electron density, and A is the cross-sectional area. Okay. Now writing the expression, the value for drift velocity over here, we get Vd is equals to E tau E n A by n. Okay, and we know E is equals to V by L, so I can be written as n E square V tau A by ml. Okay, so we get the expression for I and V, writing, taking all except V, taking all the terms this side to the left hand side and writing V is equals to ml upon n E square tau A into I. So ml goes up, n E square tau A comes down. This was the relation which we got yesterday for V is equal V proportional to I. We know, we've learned this in Ohm's law in 10th class, that V is equals to IR. So R can be written as V by I, right? R can be written as V by I. So bringing this I over here, V by I is equals to ml upon n E square tau A. Okay, so what does this become? Comparing V by I and V by I, we get this is equals to R, the electrical resistance. So now we have the expression for electrical resistance R as ml upon n E square tau A. Okay. So we got the expression for the resistance, that is electrical resistance ml upon n E square tau A, where m is mass of an electron, n is charge density, that is charge per unit volume, E is charge on an electron, tau is the average relaxation time, and A is the cross-sectional area. Now consider, if you take any material, like you take copper, because copper is a good conductor, or its resistance will be low. Like for making resistors, which materials we use? Alloys like tungsten and nichrome and all. So if you take any material and you take a fixed length and its cross-sectional area is fixed, then see, length and area are fixed for a particular temperature. At a particular temperature and pressure remaining constant, all these terms will remain constant. Mass is constant, charge on an electron is constant, tau will remain constant because when temperature will change, only then the relaxation time between the collision of electrons will change. Otherwise, tau will remain constant and n is charge density will also remain constant. Only when you increase temperatures to very high values or when you decrease temperatures, then only this number of free electrons present at that temperature changes, and because of the change in charge density, tau, that is collision between the charges between the electrons and the positive kernels, they will change. Okay. Otherwise, all these things remain constant. So we can write R is equals to a constant into L by A. We already know this expression. We write this constant as rho, that is resistivity. So for a particular material, rho is given by m upon n e squared tau. Okay, we got the expression for resistivity of a material also, m upon n e squared tau. So from here we can see that at a particular temperature, charge density of that particular material will remain constant. Because charge density is constant, relaxation time between the collisions will be constant, n will be constant and e will be constant. So rho, that is resistivity for a particular material, is constant. Okay, we learned all this in 10, and now we have the proof why we say that resistivity is constant for a particular material by V is directly proportional to I, and how resistance depends on length, area and resistivity. We used to say resistance changes if you change the length, if you change the cross-sectional area and if you change the material. So now you know how these things are related. What about the SI unit of resistance? R is equals to, we can write R is equals to V by I. So that is volt per ampere, and volt per ampere is called ohm, and it is denoted by this symbol ohm. Okay, so the SI unit of resistance is ohm. And what about the SI unit of resistivity? Resistivity, from here resistivity can be R into A by L. Okay, R into A by L. So resistance has SI unit ohm. Area will be measured in meter square and length in meter. So the unit of resistivity becomes ohm meter. Okay, so these expressions you have to remember. Like I told you, the expression for Vd you have to remember, the expression for I, that is VENA, that you have to remember, and then from there you can derive these. If you don't want to remember, you can derive, but those you have to remember, and it will be better if you remember these also. Okay? So we have this question: a wire of length L has resistance R. This wire is stretched to twice its original length. Find the new resistance. These kind of questions we did in class 10th also. It will be a revision so that we revise the formulas which we derived. So the question is that we have a wire of length L and its property area is A. The same wire is stretched to twice its original length. So it is stretched to twice its original length. So now the length has become 2L. Let us say the cross-sectional area is A dash because nothing is said about the cross-sectional area. Now see, the same wire is stretched, so obviously here volume will remain same. Okay, so we use volume conservation. We can write initial volume is equals to final volume. What is the initial volume? A into L was the initial volume, and final volume is twice L into A dash. So what happens to A dash? Now the new cross-sectional area becomes A by 2. That is, the original cross-section area is reduced to half. Okay. Now we can write the original resistance was rho L by A, and the new resistance R dash will be, since the material is same, so resistivity will be same. Length is twice L and area is A by 2. Okay, so this becomes 4 times rho L by A, or we can write R dash is equals to 4 times of the original resistance. Okay, thank you. So let's take the next question. A wire of resistance R is compressed to half its original length. Find its new resistance. So we have a wire again with length L and cross-sectional area A and its resistance is R. This wire is compressed to half of its original length. Now it is compressed to half of its length. So new length becomes L by 2. Again, by the same volume conservation method, we can find the new area A dash. So initial volume is equals to final volume. A into L is equals to L by 2 into A dash. So A dash is equals to twice of A. So original resistance was rho L by A. New resistance will be R dash rho L by 2 and twice A. So that becomes rho L by 4 times A, or that is 1/4 of the original resistance. So the new resistance decreases 4 times. Okay, so this was again a short question. So these kind of problems where we get elongation, compression, questions you might get where a wire is beaten and it is stretched to this time its original length, or it is beaten and compressed to this times its original length, then there I am giving you, for those problems I am giving you a shortcut. New resistance is N square times R. Okay, R dash is equals to N square R, where N is final length upon initial length. Okay, N is length final upon length initial. Okay, let's take a quick example. A wire of resistance 3 ohm is stretched to 10 times its original length. Find the new resistance. Okay, so 10 times its original length, that means final length is 10 times its original length. Okay, or final length upon initial length, that is N. Final length upon initial length, that is N, is equals to 10 over here. So we have R dash is equals to N square R. So new resistance R dash will be equals to 10 square into R is given as 3. So that will be equals to 3 into 100 or 300 ohm. Right? So when length is increased to 10 times, the resistance increases 300 times. Okay? So this is, these are very small and short problems about elongation, compression. Now we will take some better ones. Okay?